We simply can't afford another shutdown. I'm going to say that again. We simply cannot afford another shutdown. And you may say to yourself, Wingo, how can you say that? People are dying every day from this. It's getting bad out here with no end in sight. How can you say that? Well, I'm glad you asked that, because I want to break this down into three parts: from a business standpoint, from a health standpoint, and just from a moral standpoint, why we can't do it. Let's talk about business. In March, President Trump, elected officials, local government, your governor said, shut it down. So that means businesses of retail, restaurants, fitness, all industries shut it down. Meaning people lost jobs, people were laid off with no possibility to return, businesses closed, and we didn't know what was going on because we didn't know about this virus. We didn't know what it was going to do, how it was going to affect. We had no vaccine, so we don't know how to control it. We got to shut this down to avoid more spread, to get this somewhat under control, right? Our scientists told us we got to do this. So a lot of us, we went into the homes, we quarantined, we enjoyed the time off, right? We enjoyed those things. But why do I turn the TV on in April as the weather's getting more favorable, and I see thousands upon thousands at a beach, no mask on. People at lagoons, no mask on, having the time of their life. Because we were told by our president it was a hoax. It'll just go away, it'll magically disappear. No need to worry. If you're a certain age, you won't get it. Now, if you got underlying conditions, diabetes, respiratory issues, stay home. It's all good. The rest of us, hey, you'll get it, bounce back. Some of us, oh, it's not even real. They're just trying to do this for money. The hospital's trying to make this for money. So we did all that, we quarantined, and we saw people still having kickbacks. We saw people still having this, and you're looking at yourself like, I had to leave my job. I had to shut down my business that I put everything I worked for. I heard people say this. I put everything I worked for in my business to see it go up in smoke. We simply cannot afford another shutdown. People lost their homes. They lost places of residence. They couldn't afford the mortgage. They couldn't afford the rent. They got behind on rent. Now you may say, well, they should have been saving. They should have had savings. Some people did save, and then they had to go do other things. You know, you say save for a rainy day. Some people were straight. The other people, they were straight for a little bit, and they had to do what they had to do. Now, I will say this: some people thrived in this pandemic. People have made money. I've fortunately been blessed to make a little cash during this pandemic, and I thank God every day for it. But we simply cannot afford a shutdown, another shutdown. Let's look at it from a health standpoint. From a health standpoint, 207,000 people are dead. All they asked of us was to wear a mask, social distance, wear hand sanitizer. Do these things. Is it going to prevent you from getting COVID? No. As most of us, we did that. We wore a mask. We went to the grocery store. We wore a mask. We went to whatever. We wore a mask. If we weren't exercising outside and we practiced and nobody was around, we took the mask off because nobody was around us. But we did what we were supposed to do. Again, politicize. Oh, they're just getting money in the hospitals to say you died of COVID. Heart attacks are not happening anymore. People are not dying of anything else. They're dying of COVID. False positive tests. We got all these different arguments about health issues. We have a nation now where people are divided against wearing a mask. You're offending on my constitutional rights to wear a mask, telling me that I have to wear a mask, when we're simply trying to save lives, where the coronavirus may not affect you personally, but may affect somebody else, may affect somebody in your family. And all they asked us was to wear a mask. But we have to turn it into a liberal debate. We have to turn it into a conservative debate. We simply can't afford another shutdown. Let's talk about from a moral standpoint. This country is so divided, it's sickening. I have never seen so much racism in my life in these past months. I've never seen so much hatred in these past months during this pandemic. I've never seen a country so divided that it's sickening. And you may say, that's a little harsh, but let's talk about it. Other countries have slowed the spread. They don't have a vaccine. We have some of the most amazing doctors, amazing scientists, brilliant people on the face of the earth here in America. We should not have 207,000 people at the time I'm doing this dead. We had our president told us, don't worry about wearing a mask. Hosting rallies, no, I want them all together. Hosting presidential conventions, don't wear a mask. Don't worry about it. It's all good. The leadership. You have people fighting in stores. I'm not wearing a mask. It's okay. I'm not wearing a mask. As if wearing a mask is seen as less than. This is another reason why we can't afford a shutdown, because we're not. We need to be called the divided states of America, because we're divided. You're either liberal, Democrat. You're either racist, non-racist. A simple thing as wearing a mask is a problem. Something that we're trying to save lives with is a problem. So I speak for people like myself that did the right things, that wore the mask, that socially distanced, that did everything, that didn't see his mother for 3 months because she told me, don't come over because I don't want to get sick. Because I know what you're doing. I know you're out still working. You're still doing all these things. And socially distanced from my own family. But why am I doing that? To sacrifice for the greater the good, so we can get through this, so we can get back to what, quote, normal, which there will be a new normal, and you need to get ready for that. But think about those people who sacrificed, did all the right things, and lost things. And you still got people won't wear a mask, won't do the right things. And yet you're asking us to do another shutdown, possible another shutdown. We simply can't afford it. The only way we can afford another shutdown, and I know what people are saying, we can't afford, I've heard it before, we can't afford not to. And my answer to that is, my question to you for that is, how can we do it? We did it before. 207,000 dead. Our president said in an interview, I knew this was deadly, but I played it down. I like to play it down. And this is not a political jab at the right or left, but our president told us he knew the severity, and I want to play it down. Yet, the American people have sacrificed. They paid with their lives. They paid with their money. They paid with their livelihood. So there may be another shutdown. But I want you to think about that. I want you to think about the first shutdown. I want you to think personally about everything that you did. Everything that you sacrificed during that shutdown. Everything that was taken from you in that shutdown. Yes, Was some great moments during the shutdown? Yes. Did families come together? Yes. Did people build businesses? Absolutely. But when you see people out and about, you read the comments on social media about wearing a mask, simply wearing a mask. And we can get to the whole thing about, the hospital saying COVID, they get money for COVID. I wouldn't doubt you on that. We can get to the whole political thing about governors doing stuff for political reasons. We could talk about that. But I really want you to understand, if we're not going to be united on a shutdown, don't do it. Your president told us, people die every day. It is what it is. So you tell your loved one that you can't go to their funeral and you got a social distance with only 10 people, it is what it is. Hey, we're going to die anyway. People die every day. We simply cannot afford a shutdown. Why? Because we won't do what is necessary during the shutdown. We didn't save lives like we should. 207,000 people should not be dead. I don't care if they were 95 and they were going to die anyway. We all going to die. We're all going to die. But 207,000 people should not be dead. We can blame our president, but some of that onus comes on us. Because we simply didn't say, you know what? I want my life back. I want to get to some sense of normalcy. I'm going to wear this mask. And for those who did, thank you. I'm going to continue to wear my mask. Those who follow me on social media, you know that I wear a mask in the gym. I wear a mask everywhere. There was no question. They said, wear a mask. I wore a mask. Do I like wearing the mask? No. Especially in the summertime, no, I did not like wearing the mask. I don't like wearing it now. I got glasses on, fog on my glasses. Inconvenient. But you know what? I want to live. I want you to live. I want your family to live. I want to see you prosper. Some of you don't even know. But I want you to live so your family can live. I don't want to be killing you because I have an agenda of not wanting to do this. So I said, right now, I'm at a point now, no shutdown. What's the point? What's the point of stopping economically, mentally, emotionally, financially, stopping these things if we're not going to do what it takes? So America's on you. Because you can have Joe Biden, you can have President Trump, you can have anybody in the White House, you can have Kanye West in the White House. It don't matter. It's up to us. Leadership starts here with us. Leadership starts with me. Wear the mask. Wash your hands. But if you're not going to do those things, social distance. You think I didn't want to do the kickbacks? You think my mental health wasn't off? That I could see some of my friends that I wanted to hang out with, that I wanted to party with a little bit? Couldn't do it. We simply can't afford another shutdown. And that's the real hard truth. You may not agree with this, but I'm giving you the real, honest truth. You simply can't afford it. And for those of you saying we can't afford not to, let's do what we need to do then. Come together. If we don't, you're going to see the numbers escalate. You're going to see people die maybe before their time. You're going to see loved ones that I've heard stories of that died in the hospital, and the way your loved one had to say goodbye was on a FaceTime call because you couldn't come in the room. Do you want that? Simply can't afford a shutdown.